So let me start off this video by saying, first and foremost, I will be over on my Twitch today, probably doing some higher level gauntlet runs. But the other main thing I want to state at the start here is that you should not use this build. Or rather, you should not try to use this build unless you have this specific use case for it, because there are much better builds in existence. So of the new cells for the Gauntlet game mode, the drop cell is by far the most interesting. That's what I said in the initial video, and that's still true. To be fair, the other ones didn't really have a chance. Phoenix Labs is kind of terrified of making cells actually good. But there's one actually kind of legitimate use case for the drop cell that I kind of missed until somebody pointed out in the comments. And that is to use it for an adrenaline build on the weapons that can't really use adrenaline. So today we're going over a build that exists that you can use technically if you want to run adrenaline on one of these weapons, but you shouldn't if you have something better already. And I went with a early game version of this build. All of these are tier 3 or lower, I believe. And notice I'm going for the Iceborne Omnicell because that's the easiest Omnicell to get out of all of them. Now, some of you might be cringing right now like, Mr. T, did you really spend 8 of your crests on drop cells? And no, I didn't, because the middleman is actually bugged right now. So you can hit up the cell exchange, and if you get lucky enough, if I try to make a stop cell here, maybe I'll be able to make it. But, I'm actually broke on Aether Dust because I can't be asked to dust all of my cells. That bug is a thing for people for now, but in the future, that's supposed to be how it is anyway, and you should be able to get these from cell cores as well. But the main use case in the future for this would probably be someone who has access to pretty much these cells. So I went with as early game a build as possible here. But enough yapping here, let's go over what this build actually is. So we have the Savit weapons here. It's literally the same with these repeaters, just that the fact they are repeaters. So I'm running the Savit weapon with double Predator inside. You can replace this with like Cunning if you aren't confident of not getting hit, or if you are really early game, then you might be able to use this space to max out your pulse, or to at least get it to a higher threshold, such that you get extra damage from those crits. But for my purposes today, I'll be running 2 Predator cells inside with the Mighty Landbreaker special and the Extended Clip mod. For the repeaters, I am going to be running the Marksman Chamber, Captain's Grip, and the Tactician's Magazine mod. This is the later game thing. If you are in the early game, then you can use a mod like Precision Sights, or you can use Extraction Catalyst, Lucky Magazine, or Capacitive Magazine. It kind of just really depends on what you actually have access to. Tactician's Magazine is from the Trials store, so you probably aren't going to have that, so I'll probably end up using like Precision Sights here today. And then again, we are running the Iceborne Omnicell here, and then the choice of lantern is going to be up to you. I typically run the Skarn Lantern because I'm used to like running Revenant, where I'm going to be at really low HP. But you can run the Skarn Lantern if you want that extra defense, or if you want to get shock elemental effects faster, you can run the Jurassic Lantern. And then for the armor, we have the Carabac Helmet with Assassin's Frenzy inside, we have the Scrave Jacket with Endurance inside, we have the Embermane Gloves with Pulse inside, and then we have the Scrave Boots with Drop inside. And there's a drop cell inside of whatever lantern you choose to use. So if you have all of this armor maxed out and all of these cells at max level, then you would have 6 Adrenaline, 6 Assassin's Frenzy, 6 Drop, 6 Endurance, 6 Predator, and 6 Pulse. Again, you shouldn't be using this build if you have access to something better, but, this is an option that you can get fairly early in the game. Now, the main downside of this build is that you will have 26 maximum stamina once you spend all of that 210 stamina at the beginning, but on a more positive note, these weapons don't really use stamina. Hammer will use stamina if you are priming attacks, but most of the time you don't want to be priming attacks. But most of the time, even if you're like panic dodging, you won't really need more than 2 in a row, and if you do, then you do have faster stamina regeneration, so you should be able to dodge relatively quick after. Let's go ahead and take these into a few hunts and see how they do. And I'll probably play some inspirational music for you in the background, but once again, head over to the Twitch. I'll be over there doing some gauntlet levels today. But that's it for my voiceover. I've been Trevor, I go by the Mr. Trails, and I will catch you guys next time.